Hey everyone, today we're going to be checking out the Troubadour Apex Backpack 4.0. It continues to be a busy year for Troubadour. They've released some great new bags like the Apex Travel Backpack and the Neo Backpack, but it's nice to see them also revisit some of their existing designs. And with the fourth iteration of the Apex Backpack, I was curious to see what updates had been made over the previous version, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the appearance here feels similar to other versions of the Apex backpack. To me, this has always had a very modern and sleek appearance with a pretty distinct silhouette, and is something that I think is going to work well in a more professional setting and also be great for just walking around the city and traveling. As far as the materials, this feels really solidly built. The exterior is made out of recycled plastic water bottles, and it feels like it's going to offer a nice amount of durability and weather resistance. The weight comes in at a little under 3 pounds, so it's pretty manageable. And then beyond that, you also have some very well protected YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, you have dual external water bottle pockets. This offers a decent amount of space. You can see that there's some elasticity here. It's a fairly shallow compartment, and so for something like a 26-ounce Yeti Rambler, it will be able to hold it, but it's not the most secure fit. And so I would probably be more comfortable using maybe a 20-ounce water bottle here, but it does fit. As you can see, I just wish it was maybe a little bit deeper. When you pull the bottle out though, this elasticity does help keep the pocket closer to the bag. And then on the other side, you actually have a zipper on the pocket that allows you to use it for other items. If you don't want to carry dual water bottles, at the moment I'm actually using this to store a portable battery so that I can get to it easily, but it does have the elastic that would allow this to hold a water bottle as well. I'm always a little torn on these types of pockets. It's great that you have the ability to use it in that manner if you need to, but you know, I'm always worried about the zippers potentially kind of scratching the water bottle, and you know, some of the compromises that might be made to allow this to kind of work for both of those purposes. But still, if you prefer to have something that you can zip up, you do have that option there. And you can see here that it is an area that you want to keep an eye on as far as the weather, because the zipper comes up, but there's still a little bit of a gap here where water could potentially get in. So if you're storing something a little bit more sensitive, that is something that you'll want to keep in mind. And then at the top of the bag, you have Troubadour's really great handles. They've been using this style on a couple of their bags, and so very easy to just kind of reach down and grab it. Feels super high quality. And then you have the subtle Troubadour branding here on the front, as well as the name on the side, but I like how it kind of blends in to the exterior. And the last thing I'll mention while we're talking about the outside of the bag is that this does stand up pretty consistently on its own. Even though it's a little slimmer, I was able to place it down next to me and access the compartments when I needed to. Moving into the capacity, this comes in at about 22 liters, which is a really great daily bag size in my opinion. I was able to hold all the items that I normally like to carry with me, and it didn't feel like the bag was overly packed out or bulky. I like that this has a slimmer profile, so it really hugs your back nicely and makes it great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto pretty much any domestic or international airline. Continuing with the harness system, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. You have a nice amount of padding on the straps. They feel a little softer, not quite as rigid as some of the straps that I typically like to use, but for the most part you do have some good padding. You have this kind of soft material on the inside. The width of the straps is good for the size of bag that this is. And then on one of the straps, you have this interesting pocket that's got this magnetic closure, but when you need to open it up, it kind of expands out so that you can store something that you want to reach a little bit more quickly. The bag doesn't include a sternum strap, but it does have the ability to add one if you purchase it separately. And moving into the back panel, this has felt quite comfortable. I really like how robust the padding is here. It's well distributed. You have this nice kind of material on it, and it's also got these deep air channels to provide you with plenty of ventilation while you're walking around. Last thing I'll mention on the back is that you also have this good luggage pass-through to allow you to rest this on your suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. Jumping into the organizational options, you have a quick access pocket on the front, again with a well-protected zipper, and this offers a good amount of space for the types of things that you might normally be reaching for most regularly. So I've been using this for my AirPods as well as my charging cable for my tablet and my phone. On the inside here, you also have a little lanyard with a clip for your keys or multi-tool. And you also have an AirTag pocket here. So great to just kind of have a place to toss that. And on the inside, there's also kind of a nice softer fabric. So, you know, very useful compartment here. It did feel a little tighter than some of the other quick access pockets that I've used. So I didn't actually store my sunglasses in here. So you just kind of have to kind of think through what types of things you want to use this space for. And then on the back, you have a dedicated laptop compartment. No aqua guard on this compartment. You do have a rain flap that comes over and protects it. This also not lockable. So it might have been nice to have some of those things here, but you know, you still have the zipper that works a little bit smoother to allow you to open the compartment up. And then I like that the dedicated pocket makes it easy to get to your devices when needed. You have a tablet and a laptop sleeve here. And so the tablet sleeve offers a nice amount of padding. Currently I have my iPad mini in here that fits comfortably, but more than enough space for a larger tablet as well. And then the laptop sleeve also feels very protective. You have good padding on the sleeve, good padding on the back, and then this is also suspended off the bottom of the ground. So when you drop your laptop in there, it's not making contact with the bottom. So, you know, nice improvements here on the actual laptop sleeve. And currently I have my 14-inch MacBook Pro, but you can see that there's some leftover space here for a 15 or 16-inch laptop. And pulling my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. Nice soft lining on both sides. And this does come up a decent amount. So if you happen to have a thicker laptop, it should be able to work pretty well. And with the amount of padding that's offered here and the fact that it's suspended, it does feel like my device is going to be very well protected while I'm running around. And then moving into the main compartment here, you do have a lockable zipper that also has the weather resistant coating. This is more of a top loading bag, but the zippers come down a good amount. And then this main compartment offers, you know, a pretty simple but useful layout. And so diving into my current loadout, again at 22 liters, I have the Civic Access pouch half liter, my Beat Studio wireless headphones, an AirTag pouch, and then at the bottom I have the Civic Access pouch 1 liter and the Civic Access pouch 2 liters. And so all of those things fit in there pretty comfortably, and with the amount of space that's offered here and how much this comes up, could potentially work for minimal travel. If I wanted to toss in a packing cube, a toiletry bag, I could definitely use this for a weekend trip. And on the inside, you also have some additional organization. Starting off on the lid, you have a zippered mesh compartment. It's got this nice kind of elastic mesh that will mold around the types of things you might need to store. So at the moment, I'm using this to store my sunglasses since it's near the top and I wasn't quite able to fit them in the front compartment. So I put them there. And then on the back, you have some additional pocketing, a few elastic slip pockets here that are gonna be great for things like chargers, you know, portable hard drives, mouse, other tech accessories. I'm using this to hold kind of my nail clipper set. And then behind that, you have a zippered pocket that doesn't go all the way down to the bottom, but a good spot for maybe a notebook, other charging accessories. And then behind that, you have another pocket. Again, these kind of stack on top of each other so that you can, you know, store flatter items. It'd be kind of tricky to use all of these pockets together. And generally, when they're on the back of the main compartments, I don't like to use them because they create bulges that make it harder to pack with my modular setups. So they're there if you need them, but I don't typically use these styles of pockets that much. So yeah, I think this is an effective layout for the main area and throughout the rest of the bag. It keeps things fairly minimal, but you know, this is a silhouette that has continued to kind of evolve over the past few years. And if you're looking for a stylish work and everyday carry bag, I think this is gonna be a really interesting option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, you can currently purchase this on Troubadour's site. It's gonna come in at around $250, so definitely in a more premium category as many of Troubadour's bags tend to be. It does feel like you're getting something that's solidly built and is gonna offer a nice feature set, but there's gonna be some other great bags in this price range that may be worth considering. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is Troubadour's Neo backpack. That one comes in at a pretty similar size and it offers many of the same features as this one. So it has the dual external water bottle pockets, luggage pass through a dedicated laptop compartment that's padded, suspended. The layout on that is going to be a little bit different. I do like the top quick access pocket that was offered on that one. It also has the magnetic quick access pocket, which I was a little torn on. I prefer to have a zipper, but it still offers somewhere where you can toss in some items that you need to get to a little bit more quickly. The internal layout on the main compartment was also really useful. So in general, it was a really great bag overall. It also comes in at a slightly lower price point, and so if you're looking for something with Troubadour's aesthetic and feature set, that's gonna be an excellent option to consider. The next bag this made me think of is the Bellroy Transit Work Pack. That's offered in a 20 and 26 liter size. I really like Bellroy's modern but minimal aesthetic. It's gonna offer a solid build quality, external water bottle pocket, luggage pass-through, a dedicated laptop compartment that's padded and suspended. It has a pretty simple but useful layout. You have a quick access pocket on the front. It also has more of a clamshell style opening, so if you're a fan of that type of organization, that's gonna be something to consider. And so it's just a really nice, versatile bag that's gonna work well in an office setting. And so if you're looking for something kind of like this, that's just gonna offer a different layout, and that's gonna be a great one to take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Air City Pack 2, which has been one of my favorite new releases of the year. That one has Air's typical kind of modern techie style, very solid build quality, really comfortable harness system, luggage pass-through. It's got a padded and suspended laptop sleeve in the main compartment, a great admin compartment, some good quick access pockets. And so, just a really solid kind of all-around bag. And if you're looking for something that's gonna be rugged and work well in a lot of different settings, then that's gonna be an excellent option to keep in mind. With that being said, the Apex Backpack 4.0 continues to hold up well against all those options. It's great to see Troubadour continue to come back to their existing models and find ways to improve them and incorporate some of the features that have made their way into newer models of their bags. And so if you're a fan of kind of the style and silhouette of the Apex Backpack, and you're looking for something that's going to be great as far as laptop protection and look nice in a professional setting, then I think this is going to be a really cool option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the latest version of the Apex Backpack and how it compares to some of the other popular tech and EDC bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Troubadour for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.